man, these taxi drivers sometimes gets really crazy during the day. It's so reckless. It's pretty interesting. We're walking around Playa del Carmen now, going into the outskirts of the city, trying to find cool beaches that are not beach clubs or hotels or anything like that. So we're gonna see what's going on here. So as you guys can see, it's really a lot of stuff under construction. Let me show you here. And this looks pretty cool, looks pretty interesting. So we're just on where to discover. And also the topic of today's video is gonna be very interesting as well. It's gonna be about the hardest part of a fat loss journey, the hardest part of getting ripped. So what is the kind of the biggest obstacle that you have to deal with? So yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. And now we're on the way to discover a nice little beach spot where we can talk a little bit about that. So we finally found a great place on the beach here. No noise, awesome place to film a video. You guys can hear a little bit of the background noise created by the waves. Great place to talk about this topic. And the topic of this video is going to be the hardest part of the journey to getting ripped, the hardest part of getting a six-pack. And this is something that I want to talk to you guys for a while about, because it is a question that I've been getting all the time. It's like, how long is it going to take me to get ripped? How long is it going to take me to get to my goal? And then there's a picture of a fitness model or a picture of an actor or someone like that. And it's a really hard question to answer. And the question itself, it's kind of coming from that place of self-doubt. You know, you're doubting the process. And actually the hardest part of the journey to getting ripped is to keep putting on the effort when you don't see the results. And this is not just when it comes to fitness, but when it comes to building a business, when it comes to becoming successful in any area of your life, the hardest part is having that belief that the thing that you're doing is gonna generate the result, regardless of the fact that you don't see the result right now. Because with fitness, I mean, you can never really know. How can you know what your genetics will be like, especially if it's your first cut? You know, imagine that. It's your first fat loss diet. You've been training for a little bit of time. You don't really know your body so much. We don't know what to expect from your body. And that's one thing that we are looking at all the time, is how can we calculate, you know, how can we predict the future? Well, when it comes to fitness and health, I mean, predicting and just putting everything into pure math sometimes is a little bit difficult. I mean, how well are you gonna do in like a couple of months from now? We can't really predict, you know, maybe there's some kind of life event that's gonna happen. Maybe your body is just gonna start burning body fat from one region and not the other region. Maybe it's not gonna go the classic way, which is first from the face, then from the shoulders, kind of arms, then upper back, then lower back, then kind of getting to those upper abs and lower abs. You know, the way your body burns fat, and then your calves, your legs, I mean, it's so complicated, and we can't necessarily choose where that body fat is gonna come from. We don't know where that fat is gonna come from, and that's the problem, because when you try to look into the mirror, you know, you're looking directly into that mirror and you're not seeing any results. How do you know that your body fat is not already being going off from your lower back? How do you know that it's not coming from your calves? You know, how do you know where it's gonna come from? And that's one problem with kind of looking at the whole fitness marketing and all the BS that is being served out there, is that, hey, eat this magical food and it's gonna burn belly fat, or do this magical ab exercise, it's gonna burn fat directly from the abs. We know that spot reduction is bullshit. We know that this has been debunked so many times that there's really no point even in discussing that. But it seems like in every video I have to mention that fact that you cannot spot reduce, and in general you can't really pick where the body fat is gonna come from. So it's really hard to know when exactly you're gonna reveal those six-pack abs, and even how those six-pack abs will look like in the end. You know, it's kind of like that illusion that we have, that we wanna predict the outcome when the outcome is unpredictable, almost unpredictable. So it really comes down to believing that that calorie deficit is gonna work, believing that if you hit your protein, if you're getting stronger in the gym, if you're basing your diet mainly on whole, healthy, unprocessed food, if you're getting enough sleep, believing that that is gonna work, believing that that process that you're investing so much time in is going to work. And it does work. I mean, this is one thing, at least, if you're looking for proof, there's tons and tons of proof. There's thousands and thousands of people who've made it, and the thing is that it more comes from the fact that we are sometimes even blinded to see how much proof there is out there because of that self-doubt. And I could kind of hypothesize that some of that self-doubt really is learned. You know, it's a learned part of our personality to doubt the process. I mean, if you look at, let's say, a little kid, and you were a little kid one time, and you were learning how to walk, you know, and it's kind of like, that little kid isn't going on the internet and typing in, oh, how long is going to take me to learn how to walk, or he's not typing in a YouTube video like, okay, how long or what kind of lessons am I going to learn from this journey? No, the kid is first off putting in the work. He's first and done practicing. He's first putting in the work and the effort, and he's trusting that the process is going to work, because little kids can't really think so much ahead in time. They're more just enjoying the present moment, and they're just trusting that the reps will get them there. And that's one thing that we want to adopt a little bit more as adults, is to kind of shut off that prefrontal cortex for a while. You know, just don't let that take over all the time. Don't let those calculations just make you unhappy. Don't let that lack of result prevent you from putting in the work, because sometimes the result won't show until you put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. And that's one thing that, if you talk to all the successful people in the world, whether it's related to business or health or fitness, they will tell you, man, they're like putting in the work and not seeing result. That's just the part of the journey. And I'm just looking at this YouTube channel. For the first 150 videos, I didn't even know anybody was listening. I didn't know anybody was watching, you know, with a couple of views here and there, like my mom, you know, who doesn't even speak English, and me watching the videos 10 times, you know, like just to get a little bit more views. And I didn't know that one day we're gonna have 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million subscribers. There's no way I could have known that, but I was still putting in the work. I was trusting the process. I was still doing the work for the sake of doing the work, because the work needs to be done. Someone needs to do this. And I was taking that role as someone, okay, I'm gonna do this, I have the ability, I know that I can trust myself, and I know that it's gonna work one day. And I'm just putting in the effort, regardless of the fact that there's not gonna be any visible result immediately, but at one point, after a while, you start seeing those little glimpses of result, and it just gives you more and more motivation. Like after like a couple of months and months of like no effort whatsoever, you get a comment on a YouTube video, or let's say after 2 months of dieting, you start seeing that little bit of progress in your abs, and you get remotivated again, and you now think about what would happen if I would have given up? You know, what would have happened then? I would never reach my goal because I didn't trust the process enough. And one thing that I really love about the journey of fat loss is that you learn how to trust yourself more. You learn to trust that sometimes the work doesn't show immediately. Sometimes the work just needs time. Sometimes things just need time. Sometimes you can't cheat or get a shortcut, or sometimes you can't control everything. And that's one thing for me, because I'm the kind of person that really loves control. You know, I love to calculate things. I love to predict things. And this is one part that I just couldn't predict. This is one part that I just didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I just put in the work, and voila, you know, things happen. I just didn't give up. And that's one message for everybody here, is that just don't give up, you know, just put in the effort and just adjust over time. Use tweaks, like if you notice that you're not getting results right now, look at your calorie deficit. Maybe you're overeating a little bit more food. You need to cut the calories a little bit. Maybe you need to add more cardio. Maybe you need to adjust a little bit of your lifestyle to make sure that you manage that a little bit better, right? But the process works. It's just about you putting in the effort and tweaking it over time, and trusting that some weeks will pass by with not seeing anything. And so that's the message that I have for you guys today. I hope you're enjoying wherever you are here in the beach. It's pretty damn awesome. Good times, good to come out here. And let me know in the comments below how this resonated with you guys. And aside from that, make sure to hit that subscribe button below to support the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.